Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, good day to you. Depending where you are in the world, we're doing the nighttime devotion from the devotional Maranatha. The title today, Representatives of the Saviour. 1 Peter 2:12. Maintain good contact among the Gentiles, so that in case they speak against you as wrongdoers, they may see your good deeds and glorify God on the day of visitation. God expects those who bear the name of Christ to represent him. They're to be a satisfied, purified, holy people, communicating light to all with whom they come into contact. The followers of Christ are to be separate from the world in principles and interests, but they are not to isolate themselves from the world. The Saviour mingled constantly with men, not to encourage them in anything that was not in accordance with God's will, but to uplift and ennoble them. I sanctify myself, he said, that they also might be sanctified. That's John 17:19. So the Christian is to abide among men, that the Saviour of divine love may be as salt to preserve the world from corruption. The power of a higher, purer, nobler life is our great need. The world is watching to see what fruit is borne by professed Christians. Impressions, favorable or unfavorable to Bible religion, are constantly being made on the minds of all with whom we have to do. God and the angels are watching. God desires his people to show by their lives the advantage of Christianity over worldliness, to show that they are working on a high, holy plane. He longs to see them showing that the truth they have received has made them children of the heavenly King. He longs to make them channels through which he can pour his boundless love and mercy. Christ is waiting with longing desire for the manifestation of himself in his church. When the character of the Saviour shall be perfectly reproduced in his people, then he will come to claim his own. It is the privilege of every Christian not only to look for, but to hasten the coming of the Lord. Were all who profess his name bearing fruit to his glory, how quickly the whole world would be sown with the seed of the gospel. Quickly the last great harvest would be ripened and Christ would come. The title again, Representatives of the Saviour. And it said, God expects those who bear the name of Christ to represent him. It's like anything in this world now. If you go and work for someone, you're going to bear their name. You are going to represent them, at least during your working hours, because they're paying you to work for them. God doesn't pay us in the way we expect to be paid in this world. But as is always said, we store our treasures up in heaven. We shun the world. Yes, we need to pay bills. Yes, we need to live. We need to pay for food, etc. So, yes, we need to work, I suppose. Gain money legitimately, not that would harm anyone or in any way, shape, or form. So, legitimately would be as Paul was a tent maker, or was it Peter? um, should be doing good, honest work. So we're not talking about multi-level marketing or drugs or alcohol or I've turned down many line of work in my lifetime. We must live a higher, purer, nobler life. That is what we need in our lives. That is what keeps our integrity intact. The world does watch. If soon as someone knows that you're a Christian, straight away they'll watch you. How you talk, what your vocabulary is like, how you walk, how you act, how you do things. I'm not the best. Not at all. Yeah, there's some aspects of my life I don't do, which is good, but there's other aspects I severely fall down. But I'm a work in progress. Emphasis on progress. But we always should and must make a good impression, regardless of the situation, regardless of how we feel. The last great harvest needs to be ripened for Christ to come. And we need to be part of that harvest. So we need to work daily to be purer, holier, nobler, sinless, selfless. And more like God.